So I'm Cherry. I'm from the Philippines. I make farming sexy. I started working with farmers since I was 12 years old. And yeah, I was teaching them how to plant vegetables around their houses because
Wow.
they always eat like, unhealthy stuff from the sari-sari store in the Philippines. These are like small stores.
12 years old.
Yes.
Wow.
And then it's been a journey, so I started teaching them for 3 years, and then my mom wanted me to be a doctor. I said no. I went out from the house, literally ran away, sent myself in an agricultural school because I really want to put up my own agribusiness company in the future. So, make the story short, I helped founded Agrea. So it's actually agriculture plus Gaia, Mother Earth, it's agriculture plus environment. And our work is we're developing a one island economy model in the Philippines out of 7,107 islands. So we focus on building an island to be zero hunger, zero waste, and zero insufficiency. So the zero insufficiency meaning we work on the island number one commodity agricultural imports and number one commodity agricultural exports. So working on the economics of that and how to build the island, that making it more sustainable but at the same time resilient. So that's our business model. So like for example, one island that we're working now is called Marinduque. It's the heart of the Philippines. And we work on their number one import, which is rice, because the government is importing 91% of rice to feed the people and they import it from Vietnam. So they're losing around $9 million annually. But when we did a lot of research in the island, they can actually produce 3 times more. So the island folks with their resources, they can produce $27 million of rice annually if provided with the right technology and marketing. And we also work with coconut, which is their number one island export. But we want to go beyond copra, the dried meat. So that's why we're going cocoa sugar, virgin coconut oil, and now, gosh, I'm learning this. So I will, ask Kelly to help me out to make it happen in the island in the future. So now because of that model, a lot of government institutions and even other islands are asking us to be their consultant to develop an island-wise or city-wise food security master plan. So the company is expanding into a consultancy firm, and the next island is called Siargao, which is like the surfing capital of the Philippines. I have Agria company, and I also have Agria Foundation. So percentage of our net profit from the company goes to the foundation. The foundation, it's doing a lot of, so we have a farm school basically, where the farmers are being trained. But to make it sustainable, the foundation become a service provider to the government. So every farmer we train, the government is paying us. So one farmer, for example, in 20 to 29 days, the government is paying us $200 per farmer. Because I don't believe in free training, because the farmers will not own it, they will not put value in it. So to enter the Agria Farm School, they need to apply and they need to aspire to be a farmer fellow. So we have that, it's run by the foundation. And aside from that, the farmers are endangered species. So we're trying to work with a lot of young people on how to make agriculture a lucrative profession for them as well as a business. So we encourage a lot of young people to do volunteer or internship work with Agrea. But at the same time, we do a lot of programs and events, not only in the Philippines, but also in ASEAN countries on how to bring young people to know that agriculture is not only about farming. You can do products out of this from agriculture, right? You can do agritourism out of agriculture. And I always believe that agriculture is the backbone of every economy because, like even clothing, we cannot have this without cotton farmers. We cannot have like restaurants without people farming all these foods, and young people should see the interconnection of the spectrum of sustainable food system. But at the end of the day, we're also educating them that eating, healthy, producing smart food, as you said, is a way to go. I think the earth already hit rock bottom, and there's no way but up, right? Especially if you are poor in a rural setting, you have the wealth just around you. So we teach a lot of young people to go back and appreciate what they have. Okay, it's in the island that you're working with right now. they have this superstition that if they eat like colored rice, especially black rice, it's like food of the hermits, you know, food of the people, that when you eat it, it's like you cannot go back to your own self. You get crazy. Or, you know, it's like an encanto food. But what we do right now in our program, we still, you know, we still like ask them to eat because they really love eating white rice, because for them, white rice is rice. You know, so but then we kind of work step by step, because we cannot force them immediately to go transition even brown rice. So what we do, okay, if we're eating white rice, at least it's organic, you know, less chemicals and all this. And then second one, we're training right now in the island. We're working with some chefs that they teach the women the importance of food. We even like developing right now recipes that are only $1 per recipe, so that they'll adopt it. And but it's really more a lot about education. So a lot of our work actually is really working with not the men farmers for changing the mindset of eating. It's more of the women, because they're the ones cooking. So when the women would know how, that's, you know, next time we'll go brown rice, and the nutrition towards it, so it's really more impactful. And the other strategy that we're working right now is we have the garden classroom program that Agria has. So there are 183 public elementary schools in the island of Marinduque. Now, out of 183, we have 19 garden classrooms. So what the garden classroom is doing, the malnutrition level in the island is so high, it's 45%, one of the highest in the Philippines. And so we work with the Department of Education together with, in every school they have Parents Teachers Association. So we work with them, and we usually teach the parents on how to cook, you know, whatever harvest they get from the garden classroom. And part of the garden classroom curriculum is to really teach the children that, you know, it is important to grow your own food, but it is also important to eat healthy food. So like, for example, in their feeding program, it's always a partnership of teachers and parents, that the feeding program should come from not instant powder, you know. They must get it from the garden that Agra is putting up in their school. So that's how we're trying to change it. And in that sense as well, we're injecting the way that, okay, you need to also serve brown rice at least, you know. But then the teachers, so every school we have 2 teachers, and the teachers is being trained by Agrea, not only on how to set up the garden, but the importance of healthy eating. So it's being embedded in every parents teacher associations meeting. So it's getting there. So there's an education component, and a lot of our parents actually likes it, and the teachers as well. So but it's a long way to go. But imagine by this garden classroom, you know, some of the kids are 7 years old, 10 years old, and you're already changing their mindset towards sustainability. It's not about sustainability actually, it's really about resiliency beyond that. And in 10 years, 20 years from now, you have 27-year-old kids that they grow up with that kind of mindset. Like Hele's son, you know, he's like 7, 6, but he's amazing, you know. So imagine if these kids will be mentored like that, it will be very, very exciting. And one of our activities in the school, every July, there's a nutrition month. So we work with like mother and daughter, or father and son cooking competition. You know, and the criteria of cooking competition is like healthy, the nutritional component, accessibility, because if you're poor, you cannot really like elaborate more of your food with so many ingredients that are so expensive, right? And is it easy to cook, you know, within the budget? So we have that every nutrition month in the garden classroom, where the garden classroom are, and it's very nice. A lot of teachers are actually saying that it helped them in a way on how to educate their students. In the Philippines, you have this Go, Grow, and Glow, you know, the nutritional. So instead of just putting it in a chart and, oh, this is Go, these are the food in Go, these are Glow, so that the kids are seeing it because it's being cooked in front of them with their parents. So it's just very labor intensive in terms of organizing logistics and everything, but it's happening. But yeah, we're doing it once a year, every July.